Hey guys, so real quick before we start this episode, earlier I made a comment saying we were going to have a double upload today of This Week in WWE and New Japan Strong Style Evolved. That happens to actually not be the case because a little bit after we recorded this, we just couldn't find the time to actually sit down and record Strong Style Evolved. So, in any case, we are actually going to be uploading it next week when we are doing. It'll be a huge week to say the least because we are covering This Week in WWE, and when we do essentially what will be This Week in New Japan or This Week in Wrestling, whatever I'll call it at this point, or I'll keep it This Week in WWE. I don't know, but what we're going to be doing is we're going to cover Strong Style Evolved and Sakura Genesis, which happens to be happening today. So we want to just condense everything in, which means there'll be a lot of wrestling to watch, to say the least. Considering Strong Style Evolved is 4 hours, but I actually did watch that, and then watching Sakura Genesis tonight. And then next week is WrestleMania. There's a lot of shit going on right now. I'm not even. It's kind of mind-blowing to think about it. So, thank you guys for listening to this real quick, and let's get right into the episode. From RighteousRaikou, discharging a brand new episode of This Week in WWE, joined by, as always, your boy Conscious.
Hello! Hey,
While he's playing Overwatch in the background, hopefully that doesn't. I actually edit this video and that doesn't become the intro.
That's about to be the powerful intro. We know here kids don't edit.
You're right. But this time I might actually try to edit, especially since I was on a podcast last week, which I don't know. Like, it was recorded last week, and I don't know when it's gonna go up on his channel. Which Conscious already knows what it's about, but basically it was about a whole thing of the history of like memes and how it relates to Dadaism and Renaissance. It was actually a smart talk for something like so uncivil for memes. But anyhow, getting back into the actual topic at hand, we only got like really two big pieces of news for this week, because a lot of everything else is just speculation, and it's not that like the speculation on that is not as accurate as one of the things on here we have is speculation, but it was also a leak, so kind of just have to take it with a grain of salt. But the first bit of news is Charlotte was actually previously injured this week. She wasn't able to compete on Mixed Match Challenge due to a dental related injury where she had like a sort of mouth infection kind of thing. So she was out for this week, and she's probably done with the Mixed Match Challenge, just so that way she's perfectly healthy for...
No, she'll be... They've already announced she will be at the next Mixed Match Challenge. It's very minor surgery. You just had to make sure everything is okay. She won't really...
Yeah,
the only reason she missed the Mixed Match Challenge is because the day it kind of came up immediately. They wanted to get it done and over as quick as possible. Because they were waiting... She could have worked through Wednesday, wait till Wednesday to get it, but they're like, fuck it, let's get it done and over with so we make sure 100% she's ready for her main event. Because to be honest, we already discussed this. If Charlotte was to miss her Mania match, that's probably one of the most anticipated matches in WWE.
Honestly, yes. It's probably the biggest women's match on the card.
Yep.
I mean, that's not just... Sorry.
It would totally be Bayley versus Sasha again, but yeah.
But right, so here's the problem with that now. Is I think they're billing them for the Women's Battle Royal.
They are.
Which is a very big letdown, in my opinion.
There's a reason for it.
I know. I know there's a reason. I know there's a reason. I'm just saying it's a bit of a letdown for fans like us who invested in them since NXT. Especially like what they pulled off with the Iron Woman match, the first ever WWE Iron Woman match. It was fantastic. One of the best women's matches in NXT history.
It was one of the best matches.
It was one of the best matches of the decade at that point.
Yeah.
Because there's not really many Iron Man matches anymore, especially for the past 10 years. Ever since 2010, they just done away with Iron Mans. The last Iron Man match we've had... No, wait, wasn't there one with Sheamus and Cesaro? No, there wasn't.
No. They kind of replaced Iron Man matches with 2 out of 3 fall matches.
Which isn't as fun, though, honestly, when you think about it.
No.
Because especially when you get the 2-0 victories, it's not as fun. It kind of sometimes feels predictable. But, yeah, it's a bit of an underwhelming... I will say that it was... On the card for WrestleMania, I am excited for Alexa Bliss versus Nia Jax. I feel like it will be a good match. But it's not as the dream match of a Flair versus... It's essentially what if we put Goldberg and Ric Flair in a ring? I mean, Goldberg's streak in the ring, not actual Goldberg, because Goldberg is just not that great. He's not terrible, but he's not great.
He was known for being a big guy. That's his thing.
The big dog!
The big dog, big dog, big dog, big dog, big dog, big dog.
Exactly. I actually, last WrestleMania, when Roman Reigns beat The Undertaker, I'm just like, a haiku by Roman Reigns, and I said exactly every correct syllable for every line of big dog, big yard, big dog, and everyone's like, how? Why? And I just kept going with it. And also, the other bit of news is there's apparently a new title coming to the Cruiserweight division, which is the tag titles. Which makes a lot of sense considering for the past couple weeks we've been having a couple of teams been forming up with the Lucha House Party, which is Kalisto, Sin Cara.
Is that the name of the Lucha House Party?
They're actually calling themselves Lucha House Party.
That's so dumb.
I know. It's stupid. It's Lince Dorado, Kalisto, and Grand Metalik. And then the other tag team forming up is your boys Hideo. Yes.
The Asians.
Team Asians.
The Asians.
Nice and racism. WWE, I see you. Yo, are we gonna see a race war?
No. To be honest, if Cedric and fucking if was Rich Swanson work for the company, it'll be the team black guy.
Team wife beaters. And we just paused for that really bad joke.
Yeah.
Yes, I know Cedric. Rich Swann was dropped those charges, but it's still funny. But yeah, the Cruiserweight title belts. They kind of look like Power Ranger belts a little bit. Like it doesn't look nice, honestly. Like you saw them, right? It kind of just looks like tacky and flashy put together, and just it doesn't work. If I can find, I'm gonna probably put it. If I can remember to timestamp this right, I'm gonna try to put it in the video just so you guys can see what it looks like. It does not look good. But anyhow, that's really for news. But another part of news, I guess you'd say it's technically my personal news, is this week we're gonna have 2 episodes of the podcast. This first episode is going to be going up obviously first, and this is covering all WB. I'm putting up a second episode covering just strictly New Japan's pay-per-view of Strong Style Evolved, which is probably one of the biggest things that dropped in North America this past month. And it had some really, really star-studded matches. Especially with the Golden Lovers versus Young Bucks, and then Will Ospreay versus Jushin Thunder Liger. And
him pretty much offering a challenge for
Rey Mysterio.
Rey Mysterio for the
once he recovers, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so hyped for that. You have no idea. Like I was looking forward to Rey Mysterio versus Jushin, and that still would have been a great match. I feel like though Ospreay, since he's younger, it still works better than if it was two old guys in a ring. I'm not saying that to discredit Jushin, because he's a legend in the business, but his age is catching up to him, and you can kind of see it.
He's literally 51. He's 50 fucking one. I don't expect more from Jushin. He still does a lot. Forgot his age. That man is a legend. You don't say anything about Jushin. To be honest, once he retires from wrestling in general, he will go into, he should be in WWE's Hall of Fame.
Oh yeah, no,
for his work in WCW.
Oh yeah, what he's gonna probably do is gonna pull Sting and probably compete one match in WrestleMania, and that's it.
No, I don't even think it will happen that way. Nope. Because the thing is with Jushin Thunder Liger, New Japan has been too good to him. He has too much respect for New Japan, because the thing was, when he left to go to WCW, he was there in WCW to run out of business. New Japan let him come over and run and pretty much head their junior heavyweights. He's been a staple of their junior heavyweights for years. I don't think he should participate in another.
He was a super junior, right? He wasn't just the junior heavyweights. He was super juniors.
Yeah, but the thing is, like I said, I don't think he has too much respect for New Japan, and he appreciates what they've done for him over the years too much. Just like, fuck it, I'm gonna push it. No, he will retire. He will do the same thing a lot of people in WCW did. He will never wrestle for WWE ever again.
Sting.
He will never
Sting.
No.
Sting said on record he would never step in a WWE ring.
No. That's a different story. I mean, Jushin Thunder Liger, he will go into the Hall of Fame for strictly his WCW merits.
But to be fair, he can still sign a one-time contract, and I know New Japan will allow it. He could literally just say, I want one match. Because that's what he did in NXT with Tyler Breeze, and it was fantastic.
Well, there you go, one match.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Literally give him a WrestleMania match, put him against, I don't know, like Cedric Alexander, or another one of the cruiserweights, TJP. Literally anyone. And just give him a good send-off match. And just have him right off in the sunset. Unlike how Sting... Oh, I'm still salty on that. I am still salty. But yeah. New Japan, that's going to be covered in another episode. Now, we're going to get into the rest of this episode, starting with Raw, which we had start off the show, Paul Heyman in the ring with Brock Lesnar, dropping a nice promo on the big dog.
Big dog, big dog, big dog, dog, big dog, big dog.
Yes. Basically paraphrasing the whole thing, Heyman's calling the big dog a little bitch, and eventually he shows up kind of limping a little bit, still selling the injuries from the week prior, because oh my god, Lesnar actually killed the man. The big dog was definitely down. Oh,
the
Roman Reigns.
Dog, big dog wasn't so big after that night.
Oh, we're not gonna get tired of this.
Nope.
But yeah, he gets into the ring and he doesn't get right into the ring. He starts to try to meet Brock Lesnar halfway. He starts throwing a couple punches, misses a Superman punch off the steps, and then it's just Brock Lesnar destroying the man, and then eventually, finally, to end it, the brawl, after chair shots and just a mugging, he put a vicious F5 on top of the steps. That was beautiful, except for the fact Roman Reigns no-sold it, because afterwards, as soon as he ate it, he started to, like, fix his hair, and I'm just like, dude, that's not the... really, you think...
But you know what's funny?
What?
Roman had all this shit done to him, but you know what's gonna happen?
He's gonna win at Mania.
Lol, Roman wins, yup.
They've been building this up for years. Hey, I mean, we got our emergency button at WrestleMania 31 with Seth Rollins. That was the best thing to happen in WrestleMania, and also the most unpredictable WrestleMania in years. Like, if you had betting odds on that match, you automatically lost. Unless you somehow bet on Seth Rollins cashing in during the main event.
Because lol, Roman wins.
Except Roman didn't win, except now this time he'll win. Unless Carmella cashes in on Roman Reigns. Please. The big dog is defeated by Carmella.
I'm down. I'm down for it.
Oh my god. Yo, bring back mixed gender tags. Oh, 1990s. Oh, before you were accused of domestic violence. But yeah, him promo pretty solid. Roman Reigns being the big dog and trying to get sympathetic even though no one's having it.
Big dog, big dog, big dog, big dog, dog, big dog, big dog, dog, big dog.
Yes. We had Nia Jax versus Mickie James, and obviously Nia Jax won. The thickness. The irresistible thickness. But yeah, I'm pretty certain that Nia Jax is gonna win at Mania.
Sure.
Like, I would be okay if she doesn't, because then she can always get switched over by the shake-up. Because the one thing is, I don't want Alexa Bliss to get switched over to SmackDown. I feel like that's gonna hurt her if she's involved in the shake-up. Because she is probably the biggest thing in the women's division right now. Like, personality-wise, sure you have Ronda Rousey, but Ronda Rousey lacks the personality right now. She lacks the personality.
Her job is to sit there and try to murder people.
Yes. But the thing is, you need more people that are charismatic and can instantly connect with the audience. Alexa Bliss is one of those people. And just for the love of God, WWE, never turn her face. Just never do it.
Ooh.
Alexa Bliss. Do you forget when she used to be face in NXT and how that gimmick failed? So terrible. So terrible.
What are you talking about?
Alexa Bliss. Her original NXT gimmick, where like instead
Babyface Bliss.
Yes, it was actually kind of dull and boring. And then as soon as she was turned heel, oh my god, she actually has a personality. Like, some people were born to be a heel. She is Mrs. I honestly want to say she's on par with Miz on mic work.
Oh no, agreed.
Give it a couple years, and I think she'll be at the same, like, actually, no, she is at main event level at this point. Miz.
Oh no, yeah, she's at Miz's level of commentating.
But here's the thing that sucks. Like, Miz, he's stuck in a workhorse position when we know he's capable of holding a title, like an actual like world title. But
they won't do it though. They won't. He can't do it. That's the thing. The Miz
I'll tell you why he can do it, and there's a specific reason he can do it. And you know where I'm going with this. SmackDown.
What are you talking about?
He's gonna drop the title at Mania. He's gonna go to SmackDown. And for all we know, he's going to beat Shinsuke Nakamura for the World Championship, be the World Champion, and then he's going to have a feud with Daniel Bryan. And that feud will literally be the best feud of probably the past 3 years, considering it's been building for 3 years. That's not a feud. That's not a feud. That's Vince giving us the shaft, to be honest. But I can see it being that way for the Superstar shakeup. But that's the way I see Miz being champion, and that's a very specific scenario. But at the same time, I think he's going to SmackDown regardless.
Yeah.
Because
no, Miz is not one of the ones I see switching over though. Miz just came over with the other Superstar shakeup. So I see the Miz.
No, he's been here. He's been at Raw for a while now. It's been like a year.
Yeah, that's the thing.
They can still switch him around.
No, think about it. I think they're.
What, are you going to switch Daniel Bryan to Raw?
No, keep Daniel Bryan on SmackDown.
No. You can't do this to that rivalry.
Yeah, you do. No. You do. But you know what you do? Bring the likes of Finn over. Bring Seth over. To be honest, switch AJ to Raw. break Seth. Switch AJ and Seth. Switch Finn. Switch Finn over.
No,
SmackDown.
AJ's not moving, and you know it.
Hey, no, he is. I've had an extensive conversation about this. AJ has beaten and feuded with almost every major person on the SmackDown roster. He has no one left.
He made SmackDown though.
That's fine. That's fine. But if you trade over talent just as big as AJ, you are fine.
What if we get AJ versus Braun Strowman? I feel like that would work. I mean, we did get AJ versus Brock Lesnar, and that was actually kind of beautiful. It was a beautiful disaster of a match. As conscious as Mike goes dead. But because we're getting sidetracked, we gotta have to keep moving on. We have Cedric Alexander and Mustafa Ali versus Drew Gulak and TJP, and that match was okay. Wasn't the best I've seen at the 205 division, but it's also been a while since they've been on Raw, so I mean it was alright. Mustafa Ali picked up the win, the inverted 450, which they call the 054, because they're funny. And yeah, it just kind of sets up a little more heat because it was a non-noticed tag, or like not agreed on tag by Cedric. So Mustafa tagged himself and then hit the 054 on Drew Gulak, got the win. So it sets up a nice little rivalry for Mania. I'm still thinking Cedric's gonna win. But yeah. We had Miz TV, which that was an interesting segment. So it was all like Miz gloating about himself, and then Seth comes out, kind of starts to try to stir the pot between Miz and the Miztourage. Then Finn comes out, tries to stir the pot, which kind of, it adds too much really to the pot, so it didn't really make sense at the times they're interrupting, especially the times where it looked like they were about to turn. And then just when they looked they're about to turn, they straight up just beat down on Rollins and Balor. So we have a little bit till the Miztourage is imploded, or maybe till after Mania. Hopefully after Mania. Then we had Asuka versus some jobber, I forget her name. Asuka won in very, very quick fashion to say the least. We had Sasha Banks and Bayley have a little backstage promo kind of thing, and then straight up just beat up on each other in a catering table, set up a bigger feud for the Women's Battle Royal, which I kind of have high hopes for, but I also don't. And then we had Braun Strowman versus Sheamus, and I don't really have to go very in depth on this. Braun Strowman wins. Braun Strowman is Braun Strowman, and they keep teasing who his partner's going to be. I'm still hoping for Elias, because we haven't been seeing Elias in the past like 3 or 4 weeks at least. So he's really selling that piano. And that just Symphony of Destruction match, we haven't seen him since. But I'm really hoping that means this is Elias is turning face, and this is becoming a tag team. And if they use the tag team name of Symphony of Destruction, I will be so happy, because I want to see how many puns oh Jesus Christ, Corey, I wonder how many puns Corey can make related to Megadeth, because during the Symphony of Destruction match there were so many puns he made, and he even like pointed it out on air, saying like, yo, if I don't get any free stuff for this, it's all for naught. It was beautiful to say the least. We had a small little promo angle thing with Kurt Angle, Ronda Rousey. Like a quick promotion thing, that Absolution comes out, like, oh, you should join Absolution. And it's like, no. Alright, well then, beatdown, no. But Ronda Rousey just tosses Sonya Deville and then puts Mandy Rose on an armbar. That, all right. I mean, I guess we're gonna see almost the same thing every week until the actual match, and I feel like even the actual match we probably won't see anything. It's probably just gonna be Kurt Angle and Triple H the whole time. I mean, as long as Stephanie McMahon goes through her table, it's fine. We had Gallows and Anderson versus Miz Taraj. Match was meh. We had Gallows and Anderson picking up the win with the Magic Killer, and it's a decent match. I'm trying to make sure Conch is actually still alive. We had Elias versus Rhino. Oh, so remember when I said we haven't seen Elias in weeks? I forgot Elias had a match this week. It was a really quick match too. The whole third hour of Raw was just bad. Elias versus Rhino. Elias ended up winning. I'm really hoping though that this means Elias is gonna team with Strowman. I'm really hoping. I don't think it is, but I'm really hoping. Unless it's like both members of War Machine, which that would be actually really, really hilarious. But I know it's not going to be the case. And then to end, the last match tonight was John Cena versus Kane in a no disqualification match. John Cena did a choke slam, so that happened. He ended up winning the match, AA through table, 1, 2, 3. And then afterwards, he cut a promo calling out The Undertaker. It's like, oh, still haven't got a yes, still haven't got a no, blah, 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 this and that. And he's like, oh, we still got one more week until I have to go to WrestleMania as a fan. So, alright. Raw, overall, mediocre. Honestly, like, for a show 2 weeks out of Mania, it was very, very poor, to say the least. Move on to SmackDown, though, we had the team of Bobby Roode and Randy Orton versus Jinder Mahal and Rusev. Oh, glorious Rusev Day. Rusev ended up picking up the win because he hit the Macho Kick on Randy Orton. And we found out on SmackDown, it's now a fatal 4-way for the United States title with Bobby Roode, Randy Orton, Jinder Mahal, and, of course, Rusev Day. Oh, boy. If Rusev doesn't get this title, I will be so upset. This man needs the push. He needs the push now while the iron's hot. We had Becky Lynch versus Ruby Riott. Becky Lynch won, or Ruby Riott won, I don't know. That's been 50-50 the whole time, and I really don't care about this match. I'm sorry. I really don't care. We had a nice quick promo by Daniel Bryan, where he discussed the implications of WrestleMania, where at a match, it will be Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan versus the team of Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. And if Sami and Kevin win, they're reinstated at SmackDown. If they lose, they are fired. Which, honestly, I don't see why they would put a loss on Daniel Bryan's record at WrestleMania. But at the same time, I can see them at least pinning Shane McMahon so that way it makes Daniel Bryan still look good. And then, but if Sami and Kevin lose, that means they're both going back to Raw, which I'm fine with to an extent. But yeah, we had Bludgeon Brothers versus New Day. Bludgeon Brothers won by DQ because Usos came out, I believe, and then just a whole brawl. Speaking of which, there was actually a slight stipulation added, a supposed stipulation at WrestleMania. WWE sent a notification out to people's smartphones and quickly redacted it very, very quickly. The stipulation was it was going to be a triple threat ladder match for the tag team titles, or TLC match, I'm sorry. It would be a triple threat TLC match, which I'm interested to see how this goes, to say the least. I don't know how to feel about this. But I'm sure it'll be alright. Dolph Ziggler versus Tyler Breeze. Dolph won. It was meh. And then Shinsuke Nakamura versus Shelton Benjamin. And Shinsuke won. Not much of a surprise. SmackDown again, very mediocre. Mixed match challenge, we had Bobby Roode and Becky Lynch versus Finn Balor and Sasha Banks. Bobby Roode and Becky Lynch won to advance that team, so that way the next week will be Bobby Roode and Charlotte versus Miz and Asuka, which obviously Miz and Asuka will probably win that. It's just obvious at that point. 205, we had a match of Mark Andrews versus Tony Nese. That was pretty decent, I would say. Tony Nese looked really good in that match. We had Mustafa Ali and Cedric Alexander in a sit-down interview. It was alright. It built a nice amount of tension for that match to show the gravity of the situation for both men. And I'm looking forward to what's going to happen at WrestleMania. And then the final match of the night, there was like no matches on 205 Live. It was heavy on that promo. And then, the final match though was Kalisto versus Akira Tozawa versus TJP versus Buddy Murphy. And this was really fun. This was a tremendous match to watch. Highly recommended. Buddy Murphy picked up a win on TJP, hitting a beautiful looking Murphy's Law on an airborne TJP. It was just beautiful. I highly recommend it. It was probably the best match of the week, easily. Sans Strong Style Evolved, but that's a whole different category at this point. Because if we were comparing New Japan to WWE all the time, a lot of times I just throw WWE away. There's some good things about WWE, but not many at this point, when you can look through other properties. And then NXT, we had the announcement of the North American Championship. William Regal was in the center of the ring. He unveiled that at WrestleMania weekend at TakeOver New Orleans. They will have a 6-man ladder match to crown the new champion. And who other than the 1%er EC3 walks out. And it's beautiful to see EC3 in the ring. I do miss his theme song from Impact. It was so much better. But his new theme is not that bad. It's actually kind of heat. It seems right now like an EC3 kind of like just soaked in the chants. He's like, "Oh, I'm so happy you finally decided to." Well, I kind of mixed up the order of the whole situation. He veiled the ladder match after EC3 came out, but EC3's like, "Oh, I'm so happy you decided to hand me the championship." Blah blah. Like it's such an honor. And he's like, "Nope, that's not how that works. It's like, you're going to be in a match with 5 other people." So, and then he announced that the other person in the match is Adam Cole. And throughout the night, he unveils more people, which we'll get to. So, next match was Street Profits versus AOP and a Dusty Rhodes Classic qualifier thing, whatever you want to call it. Obviously, AOP won, which means they will face the winner of Sanity versus the team of Roderick Strong and Pete Dunne. Right after that, it was then announced another person was in the match. And it was going to be none other than Velveteen Dream. So already this is looking like a pretty heat card. Then we have another match of Lars Sullivan versus, some jobber. Lars won, obviously. And then William Regal's like, "Oh, just a man I want to see." It's like, "You're in the ladder match." And Lars wants Killian Dane, so William's like, "You know what? I'll do you one better. You got him next week, and Killian Dane's now in the ladder match too." So, we're starting to look at, just a recap, EC3, Adam Cole, Velveteen Dream, Lars Sullivan, and Killian Dane. That leaves one more person, which was shown at the end of the episode, so we'll get to that. There was supposed to be like a Dakota Kai match, and then that immediately got kiboshed because there was a backstage beatdown at Aleister Black. Beat him through the parking lot, through the backstage, all the way up the ramp. Chair shots, everything. Aleister was just left dead in the ring. And it's shaping up to be quite the rivalry, to say the least. And then, last but not least, we have the team of... And I'm pretty sure... I forget if this was mentioned on this week, or if it was mentioned on last week. If it was mentioned on last week, I'll just reiterate that also at TakeOver, there will be Johnny Gargano versus Tommaso Ciampa in a unsanctioned match. If Johnny Gargano wins, he's reinstated in NXT. If he loses, he's banished from NXT. So, this is probably one of the most heated feuds in a WWE property right now. It's fantastic. I can't wait for that match. It's probably one thing that's going to steal the show. And then the last match tonight was Sandy versus Dunn, and the team of Roderick Strong and Pete Dunne. And Pete Dunne and Roderick Strong pulled out the win. And the finals of the Dusty Rhodes Classic is Authors of Pain versus Pete Dunne and Roderick Strong. And the final thing of NXT, the interviewer, she goes to William Regal's office, and he's just like, oh, just a second. She's like, oh, I just want to know who's the last person. And he's like, oh, he's in my office. And out comes walking out none other than the king himself, Ricochet. So, the 6 men at the ladder match will be Ricochet versus EC3 versus Adam Cole, baby, versus Killian Dane, versus Lars Sullivan, versus Velveteen Dream.
Oh, a very big thing we have to mention, which I don't know if Chris has or not.
I just went through the whole week. Oh, yeah, diverticulitis. That's right.
Yeah, so there's a very high chance we might not see Daniel and Shane versus Kevin and Sami. Daniel might end up with a new partner.
They might. I don't think they're gonna sack Daniel Bryan from a WrestleMania match. The man just got cleared. No. I'm agreeing with you. I'm just.
Oh, okay.
I was saying that in agreement with you. It's because, like I was saying, that I agree that they won't sack the match. They'll just find somebody else. But I don't know who really could be a suitable partner.
Some speculation is going around. It could potentially be Kane, Reform Team. Hell no. It could be Joe. Talk about him and Kevin.
Samoa Joe?
And they can pull up the whole idea of him, Kevin, and Sammy's independent scene fuse and shit like that.
Yo, it's gonna be CM Punk.
Also, the betting odds have shot up for Conor McGregor making an appearance at WrestleMania.
I'm not surprised.
Tremendously.
Well, also betting odds have shot up for Rock appearing at WrestleMania too.
Oh no, I totally expect Rock. Oh,
Rock wasn't there last year.
Also, another slight bit of news: we might end up seeing CM Punk.
Not CM Punk.
No. That too, but we might see The Rock fighting for another promotion maybe down the road. No. Mm-hmm.
There's no way. Was he going to New Japan?
While New Japan was here in the States, Okada went to a place called Rock Bottom.
Oh my god.
And, wait on it, just wait, not done. While he's there at the Rock Bottom, he calls out The Rock himself.
Oh my god. Okada versus The Rock, what is this?
It could potentially show signs of good things to come.
I don't think you understand. This is basically WrestleMania 28 all over again, but except it's Japanese John Cena.
No, Japanese John Cena is
No, it's established that's Okada. No, Okada is Super Cena. Don't even give me that.
No, it's fucking what's his face? Oh god.
Tanahashi.
It is Tanahashi.
No, it's
Okada?
not.
Yes,
The
it
Ace?
is. Yes,
No.
it is.
No, it's
yes,
not.
It's Tanahashi. If you ask any wrestling fan, Tanahashi is the John Cena of New Japan. He is straight up the John Cena of New Japan.
He's been lately the John Cena of taking L's.
Whatever. Wrap this shit up. Wrap this shit up.
You salty as fuck, boy.
It's not. Tanahashi is the... You ask anyone, Tanahashi is the Cena of fucking New Japan.
Yeah, but that would require you to be hated by almost everybody.
They do. The hell?
People hate Tanahashi a lot. Really?
Yes!
I thought people hate Okada more.
No, it's Tanahashi. You know who Okada is? Okada is Roman Reigns.
That's even worse. That's even worse.
Exactly. Okada is Roman. Because you know how we have LOL Roman Reigns? That's LOL Okada wins.
You want to know what the perfect wrestler is? If you put The Rock, Roman Reigns, John Cena, Okada, and Hulk Hogan all together.
Who?
No, that's what you make the perfect wrestler. You just use Roman Reigns, John Cena, Okada, The Rock. It was that picture I sent you in the group chat like months ago.
Oh yeah.
It's just the more you look at it, the worse it gets.
At this point, it's LOL Okada wins. And just like Roman, even when Okada loses that title finally, and we try to move on to someone else, Okada will be right there nipping at his heels, getting ready to get the title back again. Okada is Roman.
Yo, but like
Naito, Cena.
Yo, but you mean Tanahashi?
Tanahashi, yeah. Tanahashi's.
Wait, to be fair, hold on. Is it Tanahashi or is it Takahashi? There's two different names. Tanahashi, okay.
Tanahashi.
Because there's two different, and I'm like, what the hell?
Takahashi is a junior heavyweight. He's in Chaos. He's like super low end Chaos. Tanahashi is the guy who
he's team babyface.
I think, yeah, he's pretty much won almost every. See, team babyface. He is Cena, the babyface of all babyface. He is Cena.
Is Cena really a babyface anymore?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, calling out the Undertaker and straight up like spitting a pipe bomb. That's not babyface.
No, Cena is still hypothetically a babyface. We haven't got heels yet. You remember?
You could say he's a face. He's not a babyface. Babyface.
No, remember, Undertaker has been in a lot of Mania matches where he was supposed to be the heel, but he wasn't the heel. He was still the face in the match. And the guy who they were trying to push as the babyface ended up being cheered as the heel. For a great example of that is
Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns, exactly.
Roman LOL.
Wrap this shit up. We're done. We're done.
You weren't even here for the majority of the podcast. You just decided to walk away.
No, I didn't decide to walk away. I had family stuff to deal with, black people, and other stuff I'll explain later. Can't explain on video.
Feels bad, man. All right, thank you guys for watching this episode. The next episode we'll be diving more into New Japan and what happened at Strong Style Vault. See you guys next time.
Oh yeah. Bye.